Good afternoon, Buccaneers. It's Grandma Sherry and Captain Teddy. We're here to read to you today, and we're going to read What Lives in a Shell by Kathleen zoehfeld and illustrated by Helen Davey. Okay, when you go to the seashore, you find many different kinds of shells. You may see a crab walking on the sand. A crab has 10 legs. On its front legs are 2 claws. A hard shell covers the claws and the rest of its body. A crab shell fits it like a suit of armor. The armor helps keep the crab safe from enemies. But just as you outgrow your favorite shirt, a crab outgrows its shell. When it gets too tight, the crab pulls itself out. Underneath is a new shell. I didn't know that. You may find snails buried in the sand. Some of them do not look much like the land snails. Whelks and conches are types of snails that are found only by the sea. Here are some of the different kinds of seashells. These are the seashells that you'll find on our beach, and these are the seashells that you might find at a different beach. Have you ever seen a snail shell walking along on crab legs? A hermit crab has hard claws in front, but the back end of the body has a soft shell. If the shell is too soft to keep it safe from enemies. A hermit crab lives in an empty snail shell. After a while, the hermit crab grows too big for its shell. So he looks for a bigger one. Some are too big, some are too small. Finally, he finds one he likes. He throws away the old shell and crawls into the new shell. Now the new shell is his home. The snail shell helps to keep him safe. Look at all the different kinds of clam shells that we've got here. There's lots of them. You can look for clam and oyster shells at the beach too. Clams and oysters are animals. They have no legs. They do not have heads or tails. Their bodies are soft, but they are animals. Can you see that? They're so pretty. I love their shells. Clams and oysters grow into hard shells. The top shell and the bottom shell look almost alike. The 2 shells are connected by a hinge. Scallops also have 2 shells. Here are some of the different kinds of scallops. See the hinge? This is the hinge down here.
Point to the hinge again.
Huh?
Point to the hinge again.
Here's one hinge, one kind of hinge, and see, here's what it looks like when it's open. Most clams and oysters hardly move at all. They open their shells to take in food and water. They close their shells tightly when enemies are around. And they're really hard to open. I've tried to open them. Some scallops can swim. A scallop does not swim like a fish, though. First it opens its 2 shells, then it snaps them together quickly. This gets the scallop where it wants to go. See how it's doing that? Here it's closed. Here it opens, and then it closes it quick, and see how he scoots? When you find shells, carefully look inside. It will probably be empty. If a shell's empty, it means the animal has died, or it has outgrown the shell and left it behind. If the animal is at home, you can watch for Watch it for a while. See if you can tell how how it eats. I'm sorry. How does it move? What does it do when it feels frightened? When you go, leave the animal where you found it. Animals are happiest in their natural surroundings. If a shell is empty, you can take it home with you. But on our shells here in Washington in the Pacific Northwest, anything that's on the beach has to stay on the beach. So you can't take any of the animals or the shells home. Looks like she's had a fun day at the beach, doesn't it? Try to find as many different kinds of shell as you can. Whether the shells you find are big or small, plain or fancy, remember a shell is somebody's home. Thank you. I had fun reading to you today. I hope you enjoyed our book. Have a good afternoon. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye.